I want to show you right now exactly how to prune your tomato plants so that you can have your best and biggest tomato harvest this year. All right, so I do want to be quick. I want to get right to the point because I don't want to waste your guys' time. So first, I'm going to give you 2 principles, which if you follow, you'll be guaranteed to prune your tomatoes properly. Then I'm going to offer you a very simple but powerful tip that you can use to clone your tomatoes if you want more tomato plants. And then lastly, I'm going to zoom out a bit, not just talking about tomatoes, talk about exactly how you can get the garden of your dreams this year. And we're gonna keep it all quick, all simple. We're gonna go over all of this in just a few minutes. All right, so as promised, first up, 2 principles, how to prune your tomatoes. Principle number 1, prune off the undergrowth. All right, guys, I'm gonna show you an example real quick right here with these tomatoes, which were planted about 3 weeks ago. They're doing fantastic. What I mean by trimming off the bottom growth is that anything in the bottom, about 6 to 12 inches of your plant should be bare. You can see right here that I've already gotten a great head start. I've cut down most of these lower branches and leaves, but the tomato plant has already grown a little bit since then, so I'm going to just keep going up the stem just a little bit. And the goal of this is just to maximize airflow around the base. So we're aiming for, let's say, about 8 inches at this stage, but as the plant grows higher and higher, this is also going to be higher and higher. By the time the plant is nearing the top of my stakes, I'm probably going to have the first 1.5 to 2 feet of the plant just stripped bare. And like I said, that helps increase airflow, limit disease, limit fungus, limit pests, all that stuff. So that is going to help you out a ton. All right, guys, figured I'd show you an even better example. These plants right here are the same age, and they are just in a straw bale right beside the one I was in just a second ago. But with these plants, I have not started pruning the bottom of the plant, so I'm going to show you start to finish exactly how I do that. So let's take this plant right here. So at the very bottom, you can see there's a big long branch, this one right here. Just go ahead, cut that off. I'm going to get rid of that, and I'm just going to work my way up the plant, cutting off every single leaf and every single branch that is toward the bottom of my plant. And here we are just a couple seconds later with a very nice looking clean plant. It makes a world of a difference. All right, guys, we are flying. We are already on to principle number 2, which is to get rid of your suckers. All right, guys, you might recognize this plant. It's the plant that we just cleaned up the stem on just a couple moments ago, but I want to show you this second pruning technique to take it up a whole nother level, and that is to remove the suckers. Now, real quick, define my terms. A sucker is any branch on a tomato plant that grows between the main stem and the leaf. So any branch that's growing between the main stem and the leaf, those are the branches that you actually want to get rid of, these suckers. So let's go ahead, let's take this tomato plant as our example, and we're going to go ahead and cut off any suckers we see. All right, guys, first up, we're gonna see this sucker right here. If we zoom out a bit, you can see this is a branch that's growing between the main stem and the leaf. It is a nice, big, fat, juicy one. So we're gonna go ahead, we're gonna grab the knife, and we are gonna go ahead and cut this sucker. And there we go, just like that. We have cut the sucker, we'll take that off, and we have a nice little base right there where we cut the sucker off. Now, zooming on up the plant, we have right here, it looks like another sucker. So we can see here is where it's flowering. So this is the main stem. Between the main stem and this leaf right here, we have another giant sucker. It's almost as big as the plant is tall. So we are definitely gonna go ahead and remove that one. All right, so here we are, the base is cleaned up. We took off that sucker, we took off that sucker. We have a nice, awesome, full set of flowers right there. And then going up toward the top, we're looking pretty good. You can see right here is a young sucker just starting to form. So it is best when you catch them at this time. So we're gonna go ahead and pinch that off. All right, so now we are finished. We've got an awesome looking tomato plant. Now don't forget that it doesn't look like it needs it quite yet, but pretty soon this plant is going to need to be tied to this stake to keep it growing. As it grows, it's going to grow higher and higher. Just keep on taking off those suckers and taking off anything that's at the base, especially if it's starting to yellow or brown. That's a definite sign that it needs to go. That is going to maximize airflow, maximize the number of flowers on each branch, maximize the size of the fruit, maximize the total quantity of the fruit, and help your plant remain free from diseases, pests, fungi, and anything else that would bother or otherwise harm your plant. So it is a very good idea. All right, guys, now as promised, a tip to help you clone your tomatoes so that you can duplicate tomatoes for free. Now it's very simple. Just go ahead and take those suckers that I told you about in the last part of the video, the suckers that you pruned off. Simply take the sucker, stick it in a little bit of water, wait for about 2 weeks until it's rooted nice and good, and then stick it back in the ground. And just like that, every sucker you cut off your plant could potentially become a new tomato plant. I want to zoom out just a little bit. We've been talking about tomatoes, and I really want your tomatoes to thrive, but actually even more than I want your tomatoes to thrive, I want your entire vegetable garden to thrive. That's why I created a very simple, very easy 2-hour-long course that goes over beginner vegetable gardening A to Z, goes over everything that you need to know to start vegetable gardening. It's very concise, just like this video. It goes over exactly what you need to know, when you need to know, in the order of needing to know it. The reason that I built this course was because I saw a specific need. I saw a lot of gardening courses out there, but most of them were very long, detailed, advanced, and simply speaking, I know that none of us have time for a long course like that, 5, 6, 8, 10, 15 hours long. So I created this short course as a launching point for beginner gardeners. It goes over exactly everything that you would need to know to start gardening, but nothing more. And in this gardening course, not only do I just go over how to start your own vegetable garden, but I also go over how to do this within your budget, for very inexpensively. In today's day and age, going to Lowe's or Home Depot or just your garden supply center or garden nursery can be really discouraging because prices are just so high. So I have a whole entire training within that course on how you can get into gardening inexpensively, my top tricks, hacks, and suggestions from over 5 years of experience to help you save money when you're gardening. So if that course sounds at all like something that interests you, you can take a look at the link in the description, and it's also in a pinned comment below. Now, the very best part is the price. It usually sells for $50, which actually is not a bad deal at all. But for the month of May, I am actually discounting it by 40%, meaning that you can get it for the price of only $30, which really makes it a no-brainer in my mind. So if you're interested, you want to learn more about vegetable gardening without having to go run all around YouTube trying to find this video and that video and this channel and that channel and try to learn the long way. If you instead want to save your valuable, precious time and learn how to inexpensively garden in only 2 hours, go ahead, click that link, head over there. Other than that, thanks so much for watching this video. I really hope you have a great rest of your morning or afternoon or evening or whenever you're watching this. But other than that, thanks so much for watching. Remember, subscribing to the channel is absolutely free as of now, and I'll see you in the next one.